Alright, I actually feel sorry for the rest of the peels still sitting there. This is how crazy it gets. I've been eating a lot of mandarins. I dip them in dark chocolate hummus. And it's a toss-up between Target has really good mandarins, considering the price and that it's Target. Peels is another brand that I discovered. They're more expensive here in the city, but they are so good, it's ridiculous. Like sometimes you take a gamble with fruit and not every piece of fruit is gonna taste like stellar. So anyway, but peels, you can rest assured your gamble will pay off, you know. But they had a special coupon. Well, here's the dealio. They had a special coupon signage above the Peels mandarins. It was a little tricky and confusing. You had to read the fine print on the signage, because it's more of, instead of just using your bonus card, I use my Giant card a lot to get whatever discounts are automatically applied. This one was a coupon clipper coupon situation. Like, you either have it in your app or you happen to have a physical coupon. And it was like, you can get one, normally the price is $4.99 for only a 2-pound bag. It's like a 2, or I think it's only 2 pounds. Anyway, it's like, adds up to like 10 mandarins, 10 or 11 small oranges. And I was like, at first I read it and I was like, $2.47. I thought it was per bag. $2.47 a bag, because it was like $2.47 a bag. And I wanted to load up every single bag, you know. I'm like, that's more than half off. Then I read it further and it said, for one bag, as long as you spend over $25. I was like, oh no. Luckily, there were other things I needed to get, and it came just over $25. So it didn't automatically take it off. I called someone over and said, I saw the signage, I don't have an app, and I don't have a physical coupon, but could I get the discount? And anyway, he said it works out. It worked out a little bit differently. I wound up with the order coming down a little bit more than I thought. So I'm like, I'll take it, whatever it is. You know, the guy was like, you know, he knew it was kind of a confusing coupon. But I'm happy in the end, because I feel like I got 2 bags at half price as opposed to 1. So, and I got 3 bags altogether, even though I wanted to grab up every single bag, because all the mandarins looked really healthy, good, bright, happy. Peels is so good, at least in this neck of the woods. You know, I know it can be different depending on, I have no idea where Peels is, where they're grown. California is the #1, San Joaquin Valley, the #1 producer of produce for Americans. Can you believe that? So a lot of the produce that you buy comes out of farms in the San Joaquin Valley of California. There are other local farms and this, that, and the other, but San Joaquin Valley happens to be steeped in history, families who own farms, this, that, and the other. I read a whole book on it. There's all kinds of competition, family competitors, family farmers, and it's actually, and no pun intended, a dirty industry. You get it? Your fruits, you know, your vegetables are all in the dirt and everything. And there's a lot of dirt involved, soil, this, that, and the other. So the farming industry can get pretty ugly and dirty. You never know what'll turn up. Turnip, you get it? Yeah. So aren't you happy? Aren't you great? So anyway, I would learn that from a book, and also someone else who echoed that sentiment in, get this, therapy. I had inexpensive therapists through a special women's sliding scale nonprofit group. Can you believe they had more information than 4 years at a university? I'm slightly kidding, but considering the cost and the time, I got so much information and knowledge off of these people about how to navigate the world that it's like, are you kidding? They didn't teach this, you know, in my writing classes or this, that, and the other. So, anyway, here we go, another show. Slightly kidding. It can seem like it after a while sometimes. People say that. Of course, they've had comedy. Comedy Central started to blur reality a little bit. Remember how we had the fake news with Jon Stewart? And it started to get really weird at some point. And like at first it was funny, like ah, ha, 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 everybody got the joke, but then it started to get weird because I experienced something that really did blur. All kinds of lines were crossed all over the place. It's like, that is whack. And your perception and lens can be shifted this way and that. Spin doctors all over the place, and you're like, wait a minute, were they acting or are they real? And I'm like having an episode of PTSD or what's going on? You know, there are people out here acting to blur your reality outright as an activist movement. Not now, if you go to New York, I've seen in New York that you know, a lot of people will get into character and they ride the subway and they're like, you know, they take all these classes or they're actual, you know, hired actors for one reason or the other. There are people who are actually part of progressive movement, protester, activist people who will act on the street that'll mess you up so badly. Because we need to live in a real universe. We need to know that everything's real. If people start reenacting the Truman Show and trying to pound you with it, thank you. It can get really bizarre and weird, and then you watch an episode of Fake News with Jon Stewart and see how the brain starts to get manipulated into how real is everyone or how fake is everyone, and how far are quote-unquote progressive, aggressive people willing to go to mess up your brain if you're targeted. Because it can really mess up someone's brain. It can scramble someone big time. So hard to explain if you experience it. 1501. There's a 1501 in the Marano. The Marano is that building there. Every time I see 1501, I think of the neighbors of a client of mine whose dogs I took care of in 1502. 1501 faces north. Their unit would face north and a little bit west. And the 1502 faces also northwest. Like, it's kind of the way the building is shaped, and each unit, how it's unwrapped, if you will. That's the way it is. I'm trying to decide, is that corner unit actually smaller than 1502? Depends on how you look at it. I've been in an 01 at the very top of the Marano many years ago. I did like the layout, but it was so quick. I think they're technically smaller than the 02s, but anyway, 1501 comes up a lot, so there it is in phone number form, right across the Marano. Anyway, jumping topics of reality and how adding to the idea of reality versus a fake-ish world or people behaving in a fake manner around you on purpose was a case of the Baldwin from 30 Rock, and he's always been on SNL. He's a New York person. Is he a native or he moved to